Celebrate every small win. We've been raised to always look at life. We've been raised to always look at life from an angle that if it's not big enough, if it's not shouting enough, then we haven't lived life. Wrong perception, conception of life. If you don't have a big house, a big car, a big family, all this, all that, you haven't. If you don't have kids, if you're not married, if you're divorced, I mean, there's so many pressures that people put on us and themselves, and they're thinking, really, really. Because if you get into a wrong relationship, you drained. Doesn't matter how beautiful or handsome you think you are. One wrong relationship, you are drained. The beauty leaves the door. The thing is, we all have something to celebrate at one point in time. If you are a parent, the fact that you're called a parent, it means you have children. To have children, it's a blessing. There's nothing special about you from the one who didn't get. You're just fortunate enough to have one. That's a win. Whether you're a dad able to provide for your family, that's a win. Whether a wife who's able to manage and even provide, that's a win. Whether you're a child who are able to help and support your parents in any way, you don't have to be like doing the big stuff, even the small chores here and there, that's a win. Fine. So you don't have a wife, you don't have kids, but there are things you've been able to do in your life. You started that business, you got into that career, you ended that toxic relationship, you walked out of a toxic kind of family setting, that's a win. You're able to buy something that looked impossible, that's a win. You're able to establish a brand and build a community beyond what your imagination could fathom, that's a win. Each one of us has something to call a win. Now, it may not be a big win, but it's your win. Because when you look at life and we think about, what is it called? A eulogy. First part of the eulogy, with the photos of the person who's gone. Second part, it's normally what? A song, I think, a chorus, and then a little synopsis of who you are, and then the last page, photos. Now, is your life worth that small kind of a leaflet? I think your life is better than that. From the day you are born to the time you leave this earth, there's so much. So why not make the best of it? Now, there are those who sadly believe they have to do it big. That means you work, and then when you get older, you celebrate. Well, that really never works well, because at that point, an age at which you're saying, I'm going to celebrate, you may not enjoy it as you could have enjoyed if you went stages by stages. In your 20s, in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 10s, in your 50s, in your 60s, in your 70s, 80s. Because that time you wanted to go for that cruise when you're very old, you just sleep. So you just sleep. You could literally have slept in your house. Maybe just sleeping in the water, per se. The thing is, you don't have to wait for a particular moment and time in your life. The way entertainment have sold it to you and media houses or social media. Really, you don't have to wait that long to celebrate. Where you are, in whatever steps and stages, you can celebrate month on month, week on week, day by day, quarterly. The thing is, you have something to celebrate. Don't get caught up trying to build castles and bridges that don't even exist because you want to reach the other end, which may not even really exist in. Make the best of right now. Celebrate your win. You've achieved something. Buy yourself something. You don't have to announce it to the world. Just buy yourself something. Know you are worth enough to say, hey, I've come all this way up to here. There's something I can do with my life. Do it. Some sadly are in marriages or relationships that are quite toxic. Fine. But let's say you do get that chance to go buy something in the market, or you can visit your family or a friend. That moment, that lapse of hours you have in between, take yourself some and enjoy. You don't need to you don't need to like take all the photos. If you take I mean, just enjoy yourself. You don't need to announce it. And if you're traveling to a place, you can start locally from where you live within your country. Look at the local areas you can start off. Expand, like here in Kenya, in Africa. Can start. I'm in East African community. I have countries on my east. Then I have the eastern. Then I can choose how to go the western, the northern, the southern. And then I can say, oh, I've already enjoyed that. Then you go now to the next part of the continent, above, or to the right, or to the left, or to the east, or to the north, to the south. And you keep enjoying step by step, understanding different cultures, dynamics. And the most important thing when you're traveling is to prepare. One, if it's locally, understand, is the place you're going secure enough? Are the people where you are kind of those people are very cautious of strangers? All those factors you have to put in place. If you're going in a bigger place, you have to always consider when you travel into any place, don't assume that your presence is where you say, even if it's a tourist destination. The people out there may not be happy. You know why? Because where they're tourist destination, the rents of those areas shoot up. The food can become even more expensive. So the local person, not really receptive of tourists. They may give the smile, but deep down they're like, get out of here, give me your money and leave. Because life becomes expensive for the ones who receive the tourists, because they have to keep up. The rents go high. So if they're living in rentals, their landlords are like, you know what, we are looking at 50 tourists who are going to spend X amount. You either pay the new rent or gotta go. So you think that local person wants to see you land into their area because you have the money? No. They have already can't do their normal stuff. So the thing is, do your math, understand the cultures, and it's also the politics. You can go to a place whereby it's literally, I remember there's a country I went to, and it was gunshots. I kind of go to the gunshots to an extent. I was like, okay, fine. So I need to avoid this route. It was kind of like your daily area, but I knew where to avoid, because you're like, you go here, like, you see police cars. Next thing you hear people. Next thing gunshots. Someone is on the street. It was chaos, and I was like, okay, so all I need to do is avoid this area. Another time, honestly, I'd not really done my math on the political climate, which I always do, but this time it kind of slipped my mind. And it was interesting, to say the least, because you'd go to sleep, gunshots. You walk, gunshots. You do this, gunshots. I'm thinking, oh, okay, so there's a wild west in this side of the town. Fine, so I have to avoid this particular area. So pretty much do your research. Know the security. If you are the type who likes always to backpack or do solo hikes, please don't update while you're still in the area. Only your family and the close people should know. Only update after, maybe if you've left. You can just compile your videos, be doing them, and then after you've left. But real time, you're putting yourself at a lot of risk. I find other content creators risk a lot because they even give real time, even live feeds. And yeah, some of their so-called followers will be able to send them gifts, but you don't really know your followers, because this is the thing people never seem to understand. Whoever you call your follower, okay, let's leave the bots. Let's throw the bots aside. I'm talking about the human follower. You don't know who they are. You don't know what they do. You don't know why they are following you. You don't know if their intent is good or intent is to harm. You just don't know. So how much information should they have? Be very wise about it. So celebrate every small win. Buy yourself some. Gambling is not celebrating your win. I mean, we're in a place in a country whereby gambling is literally and destroying our youth, destroying different demographics you never would have imagined. But I think a mainstream media will tell us about, how would they tell us when they are being funded by them, when they all literally have a halftime in between their ads to show it, and their little kids watching it. It's what so-called they claim pay their bills. So we need to be very careful and realize we are on your own. So celebrate every small win. You don't have to go big, go home kind of mentality. Do what works within your space and your level at the time. Celebrate yourself. You've come a long way. Clap, enjoy. Life is way too short. to carry many burdens that were never meant for you. Love yourself enough to celebrate every step and stage that you've come. You've done it. All the best.